Hey guys, welcome to the Music Matters More podcast. Today, we have on one of my good friends, probably one of the best artists that I've gotten the chance to work with, Muzzy.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, dog.
Muzzy.47. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing amazing, dog. It's another day. Got a day off. Enjoying it here at the Music Matters More.
Awesome. We have my lovely co-host Bishop. How you doing today, brother?
I can't complain, bro. It's the weekend.
You know what I'm saying? Muzzy, I'm going to start this off by giving you some flowers, okay? Because I mentioned your name in the podcast that I did with Miles the Roadrunner.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Yes, I posted that little clip up because you two truly have one of the same work ethics. You have different genres of music that you do,
Yeah.
but he's more of like a Draco the Ruler type of deal. But even him writing and you're writing, you guys just once you start, he likes to use a pen and paper, but either way, writing's writing.
Yeah.
But once you guys start, it's like boo, 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 boo. Like, where do you think that drive comes from?
I mean, I've always liked writing, bro. Since I was a kid, like I could always remember just having a knack for being in English class, bro. English class was probably one of my favorite classes to be in, just because it gives you that creativity, that freedom to just let your mind wander off wherever you want to, whether it's reading books, writing something, anything really. So I think that's where it really stems from. But that's crazy that he writes on pen and paper. I tried it when I first started writing, and it's just I think I couldn't get used to it just because my mind moves so fast
Yeah.
that by the time I'm trying to write it and it's on the paper, I can't remember my next bar anymore. So I'm just like stuck, and I'm with my phone, it's way easier. I mean, you see me earlier, I'm just typing
Boom,
away,
boom,
boom, boom,
boom,
boom, boom, boom,
boom.
boom.
Yeah.
With that, I'm able to jot down my ideas or my bars as they're coming down, and I don't really have to worry about like, fuck, am I gonna remember it?
Yeah. What made you want to get into making music?
That's a good question, bro. I mean, shit. I really didn't have nothing going for me when I was in high school. I wasn't really like a sports guy. I wasn't a skater. I was just kind of like a stoner that just kicked it with everybody. And I was always into music. Music was always like a part of my life. My mom always had me early, like dancing, just listening to music anywhere we went. Anything we did, it was always music involved. So it was just very easy for me to gravitate towards music.
Yeah.
In regards to like your sound, I feel like it's a lot like a Latin like LA sound.
Yeah. So I do have a very old school laid back sound that a lot of people could pinpoint to other, artists that may not be Mexican or Hispanic. But at the same time, I still try to incorporate that just so they could know, like I like this kind of, I like sounding like this, but I'm still gonna rep, what I am and how I live my life.
Were there a couple of artists that inspired that sound for you?
Very early on, bro, it was probably like Currency, Dom Kennedy, heavy
Yep.
Dom Kennedy. That was like number one. Both my cousins put me onto that when I was, I think like in middle school. Yeah, I started smoking it around like
Yeah.
13. So as soon as
Yeah.
that hit, it was just bam, that Wiz Khalifa. Obviously, like you got to pay respects to the OGs too, like Too Short, Snoop, all those sick ass old school artists, Mac Dre, different people, bro. Different people in different places and in different time zones. That's what really, put me. I think that's what puts me at a different level when it comes to it, because I'm not just looking at what other people are doing now. I'm trying to see what other people were doing back then, because if it worked for them back then, it could also work for me in the future.
What do you think curated your sound the most? Like, do you think it was inspired of more oldies, or do you think it's like a mix of both?
Oh, it's definitely a mix of both, because I mean, in most of my beat selection, I have a lot of sample records. So it's like obviously I'm inspired by the old school, but at the same time, it's like I try to bring that new school vibe to it with a lot of new terminology, new lingo, and shit like that. So I'm trying to keep the old school shit fresh. That's
Yeah.
really what it is.
Yeah. How many songs do you think you have made this far in your career?
Damn, that's hard to count, bro. I mean, I started when I was 17. I'm 26 now. So 9 years, goddamn, yeah, near 8, 9 years now. So
If you had a guess, you don't need an exact number, obviously.
probably around like 250.
250?
250 to 300 songs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. What's the most?
It could have been.
Nah,
It could have
it's.
been
I
not.
think it's more.
It could have been more, but it's just well. I had a lot more tracks out, like when I first started, and then I deleted all of them, and I started on a clean slate.
I'm talking like
No, that's why, like, including all the shit that I deleted up until now, probably like around maybe 350 songs, mate. I mean, 250, 300 songs, just because around the time that I've been making music, I did take a long periods of time where I wasn't. There was just a lot of
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
going on
like
in my,
breaks and stuff.
yeah, and it's not necessarily like I wanted to take a break. I always want to keep making music, but it's just like sometimes life just be hitting. So
I feel like
I had to make, it was either continue my music or continue on with my life. And it's just like music's always going to be there. So I could put it off for a little bit and then come back to it when I got everything situated.
what made you reroute back to the music?
Oh, it's just the love of the game, bro. It's
Yeah,
just the love of the game. I can't see myself doing anything else but making music. Like literally on my spare time, all I do is just either recite shit that I've already heard or just try to work on stuff. If I don't have anything available to me, like beats, I'll go out there and look for beats or ask. I'm not afraid to ask.
like ask
Yeah,
producers or
ask
whoever.
producers for beats,
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, I'll hit producers up and be like, yo, what's the deal on some beats? Or hey, I know you've worked with, like, let's say we have mutual connections, and then I'll say, like, hey, I know you work with such and such. Like, you might give him another deal, but like, what's my starting prices,
yeah,
And one way or another, I try to make it work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, they reply to me, and sometimes they don't. And
yeah.
but it's whatever, it's all part of the game, bro. That's how it's gonna be throughout life, bro. There's some people that are not gonna reply to you, or that are not gonna listen to your music, or not even fuck with you as a person, without
And
even
at the
knowing
same
you.
time, though, like not everybody's a supporter at first.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So you just
Yeah.
gotta give everything time, bro.
I feel like that's another common thing is do you feel like, maybe certain people at certain levels just don't give anybody the time of day just because they're maybe at another level? Or do you think that if you were at a certain type of level that you would be giving people the time of day?
I mean, it all depends on profitability, bro, and not
Yeah.
just in terms of monetary profit, but like, what am I gonna gain out of this interaction? And I hate to make it seem like that, but at the end of the day, this is a business. So if you're not giving me nothing, then why are we even talking? Type
Yeah.
situation. And it could even be, I don't have to be gaining anything from it besides exposure. If it's gonna be good exposure, then by all means, then yeah, I'm gonna help you out. And that's at the point that I'm at right now. I don't charge nobody for features. I don't have a need to charge anybody for features because at this point, it's just for the love of the game. Like, I just like making music so much. I'm down to work with anybody and everybody.
Getting your name out
Yeah,
there.
exactly. It's more about, just getting my name out there. I'm not, getting paid is cool. Don't get me wrong. Hell yeah. Who doesn't want to make money off of what they love to do? But at the same time, it's like, I still want to make my name, get my foot in the door first before because I'm doing this all by myself. I'm not signed to nobody. I'm not looking to get signed to no deal, no record label. I'm trying to do this all by myself. So it's like, I got to do it one way or the other.
What made you want to go that route of being independent?
I don't want nobody telling me who I could work with, bro. I
Yeah.
want and when I could drop or when I'm supposed to drop or what kind of music I'm supposed to do, like whatever I'm feeling or how I'm feeling about it, that's what I want to do.
You want that creative
Yeah,
control.
exactly. I want that creative control. And it's not more so that I want it. It's kind of like I feel like it's more of a necessity for an artist because if you don't have that creative control, then you're not really an artist. You're more of just a tool or not a tool, but a vessel for people to make money off of
No
you.
doubt.
What do you think is the hardest part about making music?
Showing up. Showing up, just like with anything, any discipline, anything that you really want to put your mind to, and it's like a goal, bro. If you really want it, you got to show up, and that's the hardest part. There's days where I'm dead tired and half asleep, got no sleep because I just worked the night shift, and I'll pull something out my ass. Something I have to, it's just me. You just really have to want it, bro.
Yeah.
There's days where you may not want to write, and I'll just take a nap, or let me just hop on the game real quick. I'll put it off later. There might not be a later, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you're a very humble guy because I really feel like you've made more than 350 songs. I'm just gonna say that because you've here alone, I think you've recorded at least like 30 or 40.
Nah,
It's been like 30.
no way. For real?
Yeah. We
Damn.
just did. We just we just did two.
I'm
in
gonna
a
say y'all just
sesh,
knocked out a couple
and
songs
then
right
you
now.
Yeah.
redid another two. But I think that I have 30 folders.
Damn.
God damn. All right, all right, for sure. I
So
thought I've
that's
only
what I'm
had like
saying.
15 or 20 at most.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like, and you were saying when you were working with your other friend, or what was his
Yeah,
name?
the homie Wilmer
Hell,
back in LA. Shout out
out
the
Wilmer.
old studio, bro, museum out in Bell. That shit got shut down. Well, it didn't get shut down. The homie just,
Yeah.
shit happened and we couldn't have that studio there no more. And yeah, I was knocking out I was trying to at least 5 songs a week. So that's
Yeah.
25 a month.
Yeah.
I did that for 6 months. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
It's up there.
I
I
see
feel
what
like
you mean.
it's
I
up
see
there.
what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Do you feel like you've made your best song yet?
Nah. I don't even think I'll ever make my best song because it's like I'll feel like that and then I'll get a new beat. And then I'm like,
This is the best.
God damn. Like I thought I was, and I think that's what really, like, going back to what you were saying, what drives me is like, I think that's what drives me too, just hearing new beats and shit, stuff that people send me. And it just lights a fire up and under me. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I have to get back in and make something out of nothing. I have to make something good.
Yeah.
I can't disappoint because like there was a time where I had stopped making music, and recently I had stopped making music for a while. And I was thinking about like, man, when I come back, because I was out of state. I was working out of state. And I was thinking, man, when I come back, do I still even really want to do this? Like I'm comfortable working right now. I'm making bread. Like I got it good for me right now. But then like it snapped back into me like, man, there's people that are waiting, anticipating for you to drop. Like you can't just disappear like that on people. It's not just for me. It's for that's what, it was kind of like a realization moment. I'm not just making music for me no more. There's people out there that,
Yeah, you got some fans.
yeah, exactly. There's people out there that are looking forward to listening to my
Some
music.
supporters, no doubt.
Yeah.
When you first meet people and you say, yo, like I make music type of shit, what are a couple of songs that you first play?
A couple of, I mean, I don't really tell them, I don't really play anything per se, but I'll probably tell them to like listen to certain projects. Like more than not, I'll tell them to listen to From HP with Love and Always Been Focused Volume 1. Those are like the 2 big projects that I have out that are more than like 5 songs. Those are like 10 songs, 12 songs, each of them. So those are the ones. And then if not, then I'll probably tell them to hop on the newer stuff that I have out, like just the singles.
Yeah.
What's the name of the last single you made?
That's been that long. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's been a while. I've just been in the studio recording music. I've been trying to set myself up to make another project. I would like to release more singles, but it's like I need to have something together first before I could drop. Like I'll drop a single that's probably gonna be in the tape, but I'm not just gonna drop a single and then leave people hanging and waiting for something to pop up.
You don't want to
again.
do just one and then.
Yeah, I don't like one and dones. I like giving them something to listen to.
I feel you.
How many music videos have you shot so far?
3.
3? Yeah.
Yeah, I just shot a recent one last year. I can't remember when it was last year, but it was sometime last year. Yeah, it was.
Are you planning on dropping any more music videos for 2025?
Oh yeah, more than definitely. I was recently in the Bay working, and I was supposed to drop some with my boy Westside JC, but his work got in the way.
Yeah.
Well, work got in the way, but it is what it is, I can't
There's always time.
I can't really blame it. So it's just it'll work out, and then I'll probably fly over there. He'll come down here. We'll work it out. But yeah, bro, I have this. Have a couple videographers that were hitting me up recently, actually, when I was over there. So I'm gonna try to get some done. Maybe try to look for one that's over here.
Do you have any songs in mind that you would want to shoot videos for?
Yeah, the one that we were working on earlier, Higher.
Yeah.
I want to get that one for sure. Hires for sure with my boy R3. Shout out my boy R3 from Linwood. We got to get that one. Havoc and Hayward with my boy JC.
Yeah.
Another one. Another feature. And probably one of the other ones that we just recorded too, like
Mach
Drop
3.
Off,
I
Mach
think
3,
Mach 3 should.
and Drop Off to Frank.
Yeah.
Those would be
Fire.
good. Those
Yeah.
would be good.
When you think of a music video, do you have like a storyline, or is it kind of like vibe? What are you going off of whenever?
I kind of like shooting music videos like a day in the life type thing. I don't really want to portray myself as something that, I haven't really lived. So it's like most of my music videos, actually all of my music videos are just me on
Yeah.
a day-to-day basis. All of my music videos are me on a day-to-day basis. So it's just like my it's not gonna be boring because I don't really like to do, I don't like to stay in and do, nothing. So it's not boring, but at the same time, it's not super extravagant or, trying to,
Over the top.
yeah,
Yeah,
nah, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really, I mean, I could be doing that, but for what? Then I
Yeah.
have to live up to, all that all the time. And that's not something that I'm on right now. I'm not financially, right now, literally, I'm not financially there. So why would I want to portray myself as being like that? And then when people see me out, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this motherfucker's faking."
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. People say fake it till you make it, but I'd rather just live by my means right now.
I feel like that's very smart for one. For two, that's literally, I mean, even in certain music videos you see with some artists, it's like, yeah, they got a Rolls Royce in it, but it's like they're not even able to drive it, or they're just sitting next to it. You know
Yup,
what I'm saying? It's like,
yup,
what's going on there?
yeah, bro. Like most of my music videos, I don't really have a storyline, and even the ones in the future, I wouldn't really have a storyline. It's more of just like, what are we gonna get into today? All right, let's get into it, and then just have somebody film us while we're doing it. Maybe like backyard shit. That's probably like the only one I'd have like a theme to or like a setting, and not really much of like it'd be actually be a set. Still kind of be like a day in the life. We'd just be having a barbecue in the back with all the homies and the homegirls and family, and then I'm just shooting my music video while we're all just there on the day.
That's pretty fire. What do you think is one of your biggest sources of inspiration when it comes to making music?
Music itself, dude, just listening to music every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes that clutters your train of thought? Like, have you ever listened to newer music and been like, because whenever I'm making music, I tend to stay away from listening to what's new all the time just because I don't ever want to copy
You don't
anybody.
want it to influence what you're
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
I feel you on that, bro. So, I mean, I do the same thing. I try to not listen to the newer stuff. That's why I kind of have like an old school playlist. Like most of the stuff that you got, I mean, Harrison, you see most of the stuff that I post on my story. It's all just old school shit. So, um, I don't really like. I mean, new music. I'm not saying new music's bad. New music's great, but it's just I won't really. I'll listen to it for a while, get the vibe from it, and then I'll kind of like let it go, and then go back to my regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah. Have your uh have your parents supported your music career?
Nah,
No,
nah.
not
My
at
mom, my
all.
mom don't like that shit.
Really?
Yeah, she don't like that
Why
shit.
not?
She just seen it's where we grew up in LA. A lot of things that have had, how we grew up and stuff, and she just doesn't want the wrong people to go into
She's aware of the lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very aware of what comes with, me pursuing music and being in different places and seeing things that, or not even seeing things, or just being aware of my surroundings. She knows that shit's gonna come with the territory, and I have to be prepared for it. But she doesn't, she doesn't want me to do it. But I mean, I've told her before, I'm like, that's not the kind of music I'm making. I try to at least give her the knowledge or put it up like, rap's not all about that anymore. This is what she speaks English. She knows, she listens to rap herself. So it's like, she knows what's up, but it's like he was saying, she's very aware of the lifestyle. So she knows what can come with it at certain situations. And she just doesn't want that for me. Just like any mom, she wants the best for her son.
Does she listen to your stuff?
That's a good question. I have never asked her that before. I know my
Really?
sister does.
Really?
My
Yeah,
sister be
yeah.
bumping my shit. My cousins be bumping my shit. So, shout out to my family, my extended family, my immediate family. But it's just a different, it's a different connect, bro. You know what I mean? We come from two different timelines, so
Yeah.
it's not the same, which I understand. I'm not holding it against her. That's my mom. I still love her, but I just wish sometimes we seen eye to eye on that. But
So like the family supports it, but mom is kind of
she's still shaky. Yeah, she's always been
Yeah.
shaky about it. But it's because I started when I was young. That's why I started 17, and then I was going. I mean, they're not gonna shut down these places because I'm not even gonna name no names. But I go to a lot of bars in LA and just get booked and fucking perform, bro, at 17. But it's because I was going with a group that was all over 21. So I'd get there with them, and they'll be like, "Oh, he just forgot his ID," and I'd be in there 17 with a bunch of old heads, just getting my shit on. And I did that for like maybe 2-3 months, and then they were moving shaky, so I just decided to start doing my own thing again.
Oh, they were moving weird?
Eh, It was just like they kind of booked me when they wanted to type deal.
Oh, okay, okay.
At first, when they were starting to gain motion, it was like every weekend they'd hit me up and try to get me on. And then as time progressed, it was like, oh, well, we got other artists now. We don't always have to hit you up. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. I don't have to even be on you guys. If you guys really want to do it like that, then I don't even got to be a part of this shit no
Was
more.
it like a real group or?
Nah, no, 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 no. It was like, what I want to say by group is like, it was a collective of people that were trying to put on for the surrounding artists,
Okay,
basically.
okay.
Kind of like some promoters, basically.
Yeah. So I have two questions. What's the most amount of people you performed in front of? And what's the least amount of people you performed in front of?
The most? Probably like 40, 50 people at a
Yeah.
house party. And the least amount, probably like 20 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always perform at a spot where it's like kind of populated. It's,
Yeah.
it's either a function or a get together or something like that. So yeah, like my first performance was, I think I was fresh out of high school or still in high school. Yeah, I was still in high school or something like that. And there was a Halloween party that one of my boys was throwing, and they had a couple of me and then a couple of the other homies the older homies that were already making music. Shout out Drake Crease. They had put me on, and I think I was like one of the first ones to get on. I was fucked up that night though. That was like one of my
Really?
first experiences of what not to do and what to do on the stage. I did good, I memorized my lines and everything, but I could tell that I was looking sloppy out there.
If you had one thing that you think that you needed to work on when it comes to making music, what would it be?
Probably consistency.
Yeah.
Just because I take so many breaks. Just consistency.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, because I take so many breaks, but then I come back in and then it's like I got so much shit. I mean, you've seen it firsthand. I was gone for 6 months and then came back, and what you said we made 40 songs already, 30 songs.
Yeah. I mean, even then, like you were just gone for like a month, but I feel like sometimes you come back and it's like you never left. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I feel like if you, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like making a song every day or making 2 or 3 songs a day, it could create a block. Like you don't want to say the same things over and over.
No, yeah,
again.
most definitely, bro. Trust
know?
me, it's happened to me before. I think that was more the reason that I had actually stopped making music last year, even apart from being away. I had tried making music while I was away in Hawaii and Texas, and I just couldn't. And I was in front of a whole bunch of inspiration. I'm on an island, bro, in front of, the beautifulness of the ocean, the green, the people, the food, the lifestyle. Like, I was surrounded by beautiful culture over there, and I had nothing to go off of until I got back.
I feel like that's like the part of you just soaking it in though, because at that point you're just living,
Yeah.
you know?
Sometimes you have to live in the moment before you're able to actually write about it.
Yeah. Because you got to form that experience, your mind has to process
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, you're right about that. But yeah, getting blocked sucks, especially when you're really eager to write
Yeah.
and you want to write. You're in the mood, because sometimes, like, I just write and I'm not even in the mood. It's just I hear something and I'm like, oh, okay. And it'll pop up into my head and I'll start writing, and then I just don't stop from there. And then there's times where I'm really in the mood to write and I'll get on the beat and then I'm just
Nothing.
boom,
Yeah.
completely blocked off. And then I'm like, well, there goes that.
When that happens, do you take a break, or do you switch up the song, switch up the beat, or?
Nah, I don't force myself, because then I know. I think it's just because from doing this for at least a little bit, I always say a little bit of time. For me, it's a little bit of time because there's artists that have been doing this their whole life,
Yeah.
So I think just from doing this for a while already, I kind of know, like, if I'm already feeling my block, it's gonna carry over to the whole session. So might as well just take a break and not stress myself out and try to force something that might not even be quality, and then just come back to it when I'm feeling either refreshed or
try to let it come naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never try to force anything. I used to, and I seen the difference in quality from the songs.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of made me like, all right, now I got to start taking this more serious.
What are your plans on dropping for 2025?
I'm looking to drop within the next month or 2.
Yeah. You have an idea of what's coming out next?
I don't have an idea of what the project name is gonna be. Like with when it comes to project names, I just wing it every time. I don't even when it comes to releases too. I just kind of in the moment kind of feeling if I feel like dropping tomorrow, I'll drop tomorrow. If I feel like dropping in 2 months, I'll drop in 2 months.
You know
But
how many songs you're thinking of putting on your project?
like maybe I want to say like 8. I'm gonna push
8?
for. I want to
Yeah,
push
yeah.
for 10. I want to push for 10. I'm gonna try to come back and get 2 more in, and then we could push for 10, just so it could be a full lengthy project. Because the last one, I know the last one that I gave everybody was short. Oh yeah, I ate this in Hawaii.
How many was
think it
that,
was
6 or
Yeah, I
5?
think it was like 6 or 5. So
Yeah.
that's small for me. I'm
Yeah.
used to dropping bigger tapes.
What type of music was played in your household growing up?
Spanish music.
Yeah? Like what
Yeah.
artist?
Um, fucking Chente, Chalino, whole bunch of bachata, um, some salsa. My mom liked a lot of rap music too, so like Snoop, Cube, Dre, Easy E. My uncle used to live with us, so he used to bump a lot of that too. Nate Dogg, Warren G.
Warren G.
That LA
Oh my
rap.
gosh,
Yeah,
bro, I
just
forgot
all that
about
old
Warren
school
G.
shit. The Dog Pound. Uh, and then I mean, I didn't really get raised at home. My mom was always working, so I was getting taken care of by different people. So I had influences from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever took care of me that day, that's the kind of vibe that I was on. I used to get. I used to be in like this summer camp, like summer over the summer, you just staying at a park with a group of kids and shit and getting taken care of by them. Um, the staff there, it was half black and half Mexican. So I got my influence from the Mexicans that were, taking care of us. And then I got my influence from the black people. And then they were the ones that were really running the show. So I got heavy influence from them. Like my favorite Wizard of Oz is the Oz.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best one to me, at least. And then like a lot of the other music that, Teddy Pendergrass, a lot of oldies, that's what they put me onto. My uncles as well, cousins, but that's really where it just stems from being everywhere, all that, being everywhere as a little kid, just
You talking about the Wiz?
The Oz.
the Oz.
I never heard of the Oz.
That's the original
Like
Wizard
just
of
the
Oz.
regular The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
The
It's with
one
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
It's called The Wiz.
Is it? I thought it was the Oz.
Nah, it's The
Whoops.
Wiz, bro.
That's what happens
Really?
when you
Yeah.
that's what happens when you hit the pen too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic. I grew up on that one too.
That's a classic. I love that.
Like
Fucking
I remember my mom told me about it, like that she had it on like an old cassette, and then we ordered it on DVD and we watched it religiously, bro. Like
that
it's a
movie
classic.
I love that movie.
Soundtrack goes crazy.
Yeah. Michael Jackson as a scarecrow, bro. Crazy.
Michael Jackson as a person.
Crazy.
Diana
you.
Ross was on there too, going
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
bro, that whole movie was just banger after banger after fuck the regular one. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck what nobody says. That shit is not as entertaining. They got somebody that's hanging in the background on the original one. Nobody killed themselves on the Wiz. You want to know why? Because they were all happy. They were all
They
happy.
didn't have
They
a
were all
reason to.
glad.
They were all happy to be there.
They were all glad
Look
to
at
be
that.
there.
Might not been any real kids around there, but anyways, no, I'm just
Crazy.
kidding. Just kidding. I love you.
But yeah,
All right. Anyway, if you had, has there been one piece of advice that you've received from anybody, whether it be in the music scene or somebody close to you in your life, that has helped you excel in your music career?
Yeah, don't give a fuck what nobody says. I know a lot of other people have said that here
Yeah.
too, but it's like it's the truth, bro. It's just like if you don't care, dog, it's like everybody's gonna have something to say whether you do good. Everybody's gonna have something to say whether you do bad. So who gives a fuck, bro?
Damn, I know, bro. With
Everybody
artists,
always
yeah.
has something to say. And it's not even with music, dog. It's with life. You could be chasing a medical degree, trying to be a doctor. You could be trying to be a lawyer. You could, in any form, any way, shape, or form of you trying to do better, or if you're doing bad, people are gonna say something.
How do you feel like you deal with that? How do you feel like you deal with the hate?
I don't deal with it. I don't.
You
pay it.
ignore it?
Yeah, I
You don't pay
any
no
attention.
mind?
I don't pay any attention to that shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like I started reading this book again recently. and it's called the four agreements.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the chapters one of the chapters is literally don't take it personally.
Yeah.
So I try to, after I read that chapter, I've tried taking it more into account, trying to actually practice that. Don't take it personally when people are having a bad day, people are going off at you, people are hating, people are doing this and that may try to affect you in a negative way. They're just only projecting what they're really feeling about themselves.
Yeah.
And you just got to take everything with a grain of salt, bro, because you don't know what people are going through.
Have you dealt with that, like music wise, towards people like saying anything about what you're doing with chasing your dreams?
Oh, nah.
Nah?
Nah, I don't think, I mean, I'm so oblivious to shit, bro. They might have, but it's like I said, I'm always just doing me. So if somebody was ever talking shit, dog, it's like,
Tune it out.
it's not even that I tune it out. I might not even hear about that shit. Nobody in my circle really cares to tell me about anything like that because it doesn't benefit us, you know? Why are we going to...
Why bring it up?
Yeah, why bring it up if it's not even something good or nothing that's going to uplift us or make us some money or make us do better?
What does ABF stand for?
Always been focused.
How did that come about?
To be honest, bro, I just pulled that shit right out of my ass.
Yeah?
And then it came together because those are the initials of my mom, my sister, and my grandma.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
You've never told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the
Yeah,
heck?
and it's in perfect order. It's my little sisters, my mom's, and then my grandma's.
That is awesome. So what are you gonna turn ABF into some sort of collective or?
Yeah, bro, I want to try to make it into a brand, dog. Well, more than a brand, to me, it's a lifestyle, bro. As long as you're always focused, dog, you don't have to. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the kind of mentality. And then I think it also stems from like Adam Sandler, that movie fucking Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, every time, and you've mentioned that like in quite a few songs recorded here, and it's like always been focused. I just thought that was so hard, like all the time, bro. It's like you need to make that into a brand.
Yeah,
because,
bro. I want to get that shit tatted soon. I might, but it depends. I might have to let this one heal soon before I go back in.
Shit, I'll get it with you. I'll get ABF with
You're
you.
lying.
Nah,
Let's go.
no, I'm gonna get
I'll get that shit on my face. Nah.
no, no, hey, don't do that.
Nah, bro. That's a job stopper.
Then your mom
right
would
there.
really hate you.
That's a job stopper, bro. I'd never do some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, I know, bro. I don't get why people get face tats.
Some of
Would
them
you
look
get one?
nice.
I would get a face tat if I had a career that let me get one.
Yeah, see?
That's why we
that's a
gotta
good
get
answer.
the pod going.
I'm like, that's a good answer. Yeah, because my homie, he has one. And his shit's hard. It's the praying hands.
Oh,
And
okay.
he has it right here on his cheek, right here next to his eye. And that shit looks hard, bro.
And
But-
even then, it's like I have so much real estate left on my body. Like I feel like if you run out of places to put it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like that's
Yeah.
your last ditch effort
it's
right
the same,
there.
same thing for me. Like maybe it's just my generation, but like same thing for like neck tattoos. Like we always say like we're not gonna do no neck unless the rest of us is tatted up type of thing.
Yeah, I would never do my neck and my hands right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I
But
see.
if I was a multimillionaire, I would do whatever I
Yeah, I
wanted.
said I didn't want to go down to my wrist, bro. And this last one, it went down to my wrist.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that bad, but I mean, I'm going to have to get it all covered now so it fucking evens out.
I wear long
Yeah,
sleeves all the
yeah.
time anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like when it's winter, half the time people don't even see,
Yeah.
unless it's your significant other. That's why nobody knows I have Elmo on my ass. But if you had to give one piece of advice, if you had to give one piece of advice to any artist or any creative, what would you give them?
They don't want to take advice from me, bro.
Bro.
Nah, I'm just fucking around.
God.
Nah, bro. The best piece of advice I could give, bro, is just believe in yourself, dog. Don't stop. Don't care what nobody says. If you don't have the belief of believing in yourself, then why is everybody else gonna have to have that belief too, bro?
That's a bar.
The Mexican OT said that shit. If I don't believe in myself, then why the fuck should you guys? It's the best fucking. It's a good way to live life, bro. If you don't believe in yourself, then how do you expect other people to? If you're just basically putting on a mask,
I
putting
feel
on the
like
front.
it's like the same thing as love. Like, how could you expect somebody else to love you if you
If you
don't
don't
love
love
yourself?
yourself, yeah,
Mm.
exactly, bro. It carries on to almost all ways of life. If you don't love yourself, nobody else is gonna love you. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna believe in you. If you don't work on yourself, bro, 99% of the time, nobody's gonna want to work with you.
For someone who struggles in believing themselves, how would you give them that little push to take a step forward into believing in themselves?
You want my honest answer?
Yeah.
Take acid.
Yeah.
Take acid, take mushrooms, bro. If you really
Kill
feel
that
like,
ego.
don't get me wrong, there's some people who have that headspace where they can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, they'll trip out. So I don't recommend it to everybody. But if you feel like you got a strong will and you know that you got some demons to fight and you're ready to face them, by all means, bro, take them on. Take that shit. It helps out. It helps out more than a lot of people know.
Yeah.
I've taken it when I was feeling down and about, and that shit woke me up and it reminded me who the fuck I was. I had to lose my ego and I had to, reflect on a lot of bullshit that I did when I was younger, but it helped out a lot. It helped me let go of everything that was holding me back before. Basically, like what everybody thought about me, how I was portrayed in other people's eyes, things like that. It's just like I was saying earlier, bro. Everybody's gonna continue living their life, so just gotta live yours however the fuck you want.
Now I'm gonna touch on this a tiny bit, but you said earlier, oh, do it now because there may not be
Oh
more
yeah.
time. Like, do you feel like you have had any songs or anything like that that you maybe wish that you would have released a while ago? Like, is there anything you've sat on that you wish you would have got done sooner?
Yeah, my bad, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of music actually that I have in my phone that I haven't released, but it's just because I never bought the beat. I just recorded off. I just
Yeah.
recorded on the beat more as like a reference point. Even if I finished the song, I planned to buy the beat and then either somebody bought it or it just wasn't available anymore. Um, yeah, bro, there's a lot of things in terms of music that I wish that I could have done, but at the same time, it's a learning point, bro. You just gotta take it to the chest and move on from it and be better.
Yeah, man.
And that's another
You
thing too. Like when I do go about that shit, I try not to come off super like aggressive with making my music too. When I am here in the studio, I try to just like make the vibe because at the end of the day, bro, we're making a connection. And if I'm being aggressive and a dick to you, then you're not gonna want me here no more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced anyone being a dick to me in general as a client. For one, I probably wouldn't take it, and I deal with too much on a daily basis to be like sitting there and being like, yeah,
Nah,
okay.
facts, dead
But
ass.
And they paid money too, so they're not finna.
Yeah,
You're not finna waste that.
no, but I feel like, yeah, your music is always so positive, and every time you've come in here, it's been a positive experience. Where can the people find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Muzzy.47.
What about
Everybody's favorite Theo, that's what it says on there. Apple Music, you can find me at Muzzy.47. Spotify, the same thing. SoundCloud, the exact same thing.
YouTube?
YouTube, the exact same thing.
Where'd the 47 come from?
The 47 came from my boy that passed away. So he had that I want to say he had that in his Instagram, but his Instagram is still up to this day. Nobody took it down. And it's still like that. It's Josh.47. So after he passed, I took that as like a way of remembering him.
That's what's up.
And I
Rest in
haven't changed. I
peace.
haven't changed it since.
That is amazing. Muzzy, it's been a pleasure having you. And like I said, I had to start that off with giving you your flowers because you're a blessing to have as a client. And every time you come in here, it's always positive. You know what you want. You get straight to work. You already have the songs done. You already have it written. You're never a headache. And I appreciate you so much for that, my brother.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you too, dog. I appreciate my boy Bishop right here. I appreciate you, Harrison. You guys have always shown me love, bro. Nothing but respect. That's why I move the same way with y'all, bro. Like I told you this on our way over here. Like we knew each other before this whole studio shit. We're just homies that happen to make music together, bro.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful connection that we have.
Yeah, the way we all met is still
Crazy.
You know
Still
what I'm
crazy to
saying?
me.
Yeah.
Small world. Small world.
Too small sometimes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you all have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever time zone you are, whatever. Good night.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bye bye.